Annie Clark, St. Vincent, one of the most talented musicians around today, without a doubt, has some of the best albums of the past few years. Strange Mercy, very good album, and her self-titled. My personal favourite of hers, I do think Actor is very good too, but as she's gone along her career, she's gotten slightly more accessible, but yet keeping the fundamentals of that art pop sound, that indie pop sound that is quite eccentric, quite strange at times, and yet is really well done. And on this self-titled, she kind of mastered that sound. She has some excellent pop tracks on there that were some of her most accessible to date. Birth in Reverse, Digital Witness, Prince Johnny, some of the best songs of that year and the best songs of the past few years in terms of pop anyway. Nothing really comes close to it. I don't think. St. Vincent is just an absolute master. She's a master. She's great. She's just great. Not only does she have the best haircut in the game, but she has some of the best songwriting and ideas musically as well. So this new album, following after the breakdown of a relationship, was hyped up and led up to be possibly her most emotional and her best work to date. And, well, what do I think? What do I think? What do I think?
Why don't I love this album? Why? Why?
Oh, I'm just not connecting to this musically, you know? I think there's just something missing. And I feel like I want to say it's a lack of guitar because on her last album there was more prominent guitars, and when she brings in the guitar it sounds incredible in her music. And this album, honestly, some of the music feels quite stiff. It feels a bit like stuck in stuck in within itself. It's like it's just like trapped and it's not letting itself free. It's not moving past a certain point, and I'm just not connecting to the music. Now I'll start off with the songs that I do love because there are a few on this album that I really do love. Masseduction, that's a really good one with the Masseduction. That's really clever, and the part that is clever actually is the mass destruction when she's talking about like hold a weapon. That's really clever. New York, I've already done a track review of this one and I still love it. I actually love it more now that I've heard it so much. Probably because in context with the album, there aren't many tracks that I love. So this one has stood out even more as one that I love. I love the lyrics and on this one. Yeah, it's a really heartfelt track about having that person, but that person that you only ever go to or you relate to the most, and then them not really being there for you anymore. It's really quite beautiful. Los Ageless has grown on me a little bit. I don't think I love it though. I think it's still quite a decent track. It's another track that I feel like when her vocals on like the bridge of the song like come out and like she just like really puts on a great vocal tone. That's the part I love of the song, but I would have liked more of that on the song and on this album. And I suppose lyrically I don't really have that many complaints. I mean, overall on this album, the lyrics do have quite a good tone to them. They're obviously like direct and to the point at times, like on Young Lover, where it's quite clear what she's talking about here. It's obviously talking about the relationship that broke down and directing her words to that person. And the closing track as well, Smoking Section, where she's saying what could be better than love, and you know she's and the repeated line at the end about it being the end. You know, it's really quite sad. I do think it's a side to Annie that we've not quite seen before, even if there have been slower, more emotional tracks in the past. This one feels like way more personal than we've ever seen her. I do like that little reference to Johnny as well, that guy that appeared on Prince Johnny and now it's like Happy Birthday Johnny. That's a little clever little Easter egg for the fans. But you know, the issue is that I don't really feel like I have that much to say about a lot of these songs because musically I'm just not gripped by them, like, in any way. The track Pills, I mean, probably is my least favourite ever song she's ever made. I mean, this one, pills, pills, pills every day of the week. It's just like, it's so it's like a nursery rhyme, honestly, which isn't an appropriate nursery rhyme because she's talking about pills, but it's just so kiddie and childish, like that chorus. It's just, I can't get with the silliness on that one. And Sugar Boy has a very similar tune to Los Ageless, which I found a bit odd because then paired next to each other. Maybe Sugar Boy's just a little faster, but it's got that da na 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 da na 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 na. It's just very identical to what was already on Los Angeles, and I don't know, I just felt a bit off-putting. Fear the Future is quite a grandiose and triumphant track, which I don't mind, but again, I'm just not all that connected to it. I don't know why, I don't know what it is. I think this is an issue with me, I don't know. I kind of think that the artful approach that she had previously and prior to this album has just been lost a little bit. I don't know how or where exactly, but a lot of these tracks just feel a bit general, a bit standard, whereas before I feel like she was the go-to musician for like the art pop, like she was the art pop singer, like Lady Gaga had art pop the album, but Saint Vincent was the actual art pop queen, and I'm just not really getting that here. And I don't know. I'm just a little sad because I feel like this isn't a bad album at all. A lot of points it's very good, but I just don't feel it. I'm just not feeling it. I must say though, Slow Disco has got to be the most beautiful song on the album. Period. It just, oof, it's such a lovely sounding song. The violins on the track sound sublime. I always like some violins included in a song. It's just, no. So yeah, I would recommend this album a lot. I think this would be up there with the Melodrama. For the people that loved Melodrama, I feel like this will be another album that people will love. I can't see why not anyway. Lord is just as good of a songwriter as St. Vincent. St. Vincent's probably better, but I'd like to see St. Vincent garner and gain more fans with this album. But for me, I'm just, there's a lot to like. I'm just not feeling connected to it. I keep saying this, but that's kind of just what I feel. I would argue that it is a bit more stripped down and simplistic in terms of production and the music on this one. I mean, just listen to the singles. They weren't exactly bopping with big tunes or anything like that. So I do feel like this album has a less immediate impact on you. It certainly took a lot of listens for me, I've got to say that. And even without those immediate pop gems, there isn't even that much in the deeper cuts that I can really grab a hold of and fall in love with like I have with every one of her albums so far. It's a good album. I wanted to love it a lot more than I did, but the results are fine. There's still a handful of songs on here that are probably some of her best to date. And I feel like St. Vincent fans will love this, and if you've never listened to it before, then certainly do give her a listen. Yeah, maybe the expectations got the best of me with this one. I'm just not feeling it all that well. I think it could have been better. I think there could have been production choices that would have made some of these tracks just have more melody to them because they're quite spacious at points too. There's not a whole lot going on. Every now and then an instrument gets added and it does add to the song, but prior to that there's sometimes just not a whole lot to grasp onto. I'm going to give this one a C+, but do let me know what you think of this album, if you're in love with it, if it's one of your favourites of the year. Tell me some more female pop albums that you love this year too in the comments. Let me know what I should review next. Subscribe to the channel for more reviews, and have a good day.